everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy Tactics walkthrough. We are just about to head on to the, what is this, the Favaham Plains, which, I don't know, I think that this battlefield, if I remember correctly, actually changes to a different looking map, actually, after you've completed this for the first time. So the first time we have combat here, it's going to be kind of like a windmill looking area, but on later battles it will not be this specific battleground. But anyways, alright, so here Wygriff is obviously discussing Tita with Golgaros or whatever. I forget his name here. Maybe that'll flash up again sooner or later, but alright, so basically, Wygriff has definitely got some pretty strong ideals, and I would say Golgaros or whatever really is only seeing kind of what's in front of him. And I mean, to be fair, I think both of them have valid points, but Golgaros is trying to be realistic. He's like, "Yo, dude, they're like here. We're gonna be boned if we don't, get out of here." And alright, so here's another Death Corps member that obviously informs Wygriff of Maluda's defeat. And alright, so Wygriff and the others here are out of time because our troops have just arrived. Golagros. Golagros? I don't know. These names, man. Alright, so we can only take 3 of our soldiers plus Ramza for this battle, which is fine. We're gonna be alright. This one, though, I would say it's not a bad idea to have somebody that can revive, like whether that's with a monk with the revive skill, or like a chemist with Phoenix down. Any way to get your character back to life after they've been killed. Wygriff actually has a sword ability that has the chance to instantly kill a character. So not only does it do I would say a fairly decent amount of damage, but also, like I said, it's also got that chance to just kill you flat out. So again, pretty useful to have somebody with the ability to revive, maybe even more than one person in case your one character gets killed. So one interesting thing too about this battle, if you notice, there's a chocobo in the battle, and its name is Bako, or Bolko. I don't know how that's supposed to be said, but or pronounced. But that's the same name as actually a lot of the chocobos in Final Fantasy games over time. If I remember right. Oh man, I can't remember if it's. So on one of the old PlayStation versions, there's a package deal there that they did. I think it's Final Fantasy Origins, so it's like Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2, but I don't think, I think that Final Fantasy, no, I think I'm mistaken actually, now that I'm trying to go through it all again. It actually might be like Final Fantasy 4? Anyways, okay, well, long story short, Bako appears multiple times throughout different Final Fantasies. Apparently, I can't keep them all straight anymore. But that which is kind of neat. But then on top of that, there's a battle here. I don't know, 5 or 6 battles later, where we will run into another chocobo named Bako. So I don't know if it's the same exact one or not. But I thought it was interesting anyway, and I don't think I had noticed that. earlier or throughout my other playthroughs. And what I'm going to do, obviously, so Delita obviously rushed the enemies and got one shot, which is, you know, kind of a no-brainer. That's what's going to happen when he doesn't have any gear on. Which, whatever, that's fine. We're going to be just fine without him. Now, I'm actually going to slow the enemies down here a bit and then try to steal. And, you know, I actually have mentioned this before, but to be completely honest, after playing the game through so many times, there's really specific places that are, I would say, useful for stealing. I would still say that this is not one of them. Yeah, what I mean by that is the gear that I obtain here is it's decent. I'll give it that, but it's all going to be available fairly soon. So, you know, again, I would say that it's not really all that worthwhile time-wise to steal. Now, if you absolutely want to, then, you know, again, go right ahead. You'll definitely get some decent stuff. But I don't feel like this gear in this battle specifically is so good that it needs to be obtained right away. Now, this is another one of those examples of do as I say, not as I do, because that's exactly what I'm going to do, is steal a bunch of stuff on this path. But one interesting thing, though, that I really do want to mention, and that's Wygriff here is a special class. I'm not sure if I actually highlighted it or not, but I think he's the Holy Knight, which we will actually get a character that has that ability as well, or will be that class or job, or however you want to say that, and will obtain the same abilities. And one cool thing about that, well, one cool and one drawback to it is if you don't have a sword equipped, you can't use abilities out of that, that I guess job tree. And that's we're actually going to take advantage of that. So that'll be the first thing that I steal from Wygriff is his sword, and then he's not going to have access to those sword skills anymore, which is actually the case for a few of the enemy classes in the game. There's like the Holy Knight, there's the Temple Knight, there's a couple of knight classes in the game. I should say special knight classes that not only will, you know, we will get some of those or some characters that have that, but again, the good thing to know is that if you steal the weapon out of their hand, they can't use those anymore. So again, I will point those out as we come across them, but it's kind of a neat way to really cut down the damage of those characters. So I would say keep that in mind. That can really save your butt. But alright, so unfortunately though here, this monk kind of got in the way in between Wygriff and myself. So Ramza is stuck here for the time being, or at least until we kill off some of these characters in the way. I do like that the one knight there is obviously in the sunken state and surrounded by enemies. Alright, so we got... actually, you know, so one thing that I haven't mentioned about the dancers that I really wanted to is that at the beginning of battle, the dancers are at, like, I would say the most, or they're... Yeah, we'll say the most effective. And what I mean by that is you have the maximum amount of targets. Now, the other thing that goes along with that is any battle where there's... Or basically, dancers are more effective, or you get more out of dancers the more enemies there are on the field. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, though, that you should There I stole the Mithril Sword. So now Wygriff is not able to use his sword abilities anymore, which is really good. But anyway, so like I said, you know, the dancers are, you get kind of more out of them the more enemies there are on the field. But that being said, though, you know, even after you hack down a couple of them, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should stop your dancers from dancing. You know, obviously they're still going to be effective in doing damage. It's just, you know, you're not spreading it out among as many targets. So that's the other thing. It may look like they do very little damage, but the fact that they do that little bit of damage to all enemies actually really adds up, you know, really quickly. I mean, if you're doing 15 damage to, we'll just say, you know, 4 targets, that's 60 damage, you know, spread out between those enemies, and I mean, it just gets better from there. You know, obviously 75 damage with 5, so on and so forth. But again, you know, as the targets start to die off, which, you know, that's what will happen, obviously. You'll be technically doing less damage, but that, I mean, to me, that doesn't really matter a whole lot now. But that being said, though, at that point, then you could have your, you know, whatever your dancers, whether they be in the knight class or in any other class, you can have them run around and then actually, you know, finish off the whatever stragglers might still be alive. Typically, though, what I do is, usually anyway, really just kind of let my dancers kind of stay at the back of the battle and off to the corner somewhere, and, you know, just have them dance the entire time. Now, that's not necessarily the case all the time. As you can see here, I basically have stopped dancing with all of the dancers, and I'm now just kind of running around. Yeah, and taking care of business. But all right, so we've got basically almost everybody's finished off here. We've got this knight's the last one, and then Wygriff obviously being our final target. Now, I've got almost everything stolen from him. If I remember right here, I had a little issue getting, I think it was his accessory. I had a really hard time actually getting. Now, the other thing is, kind of being that this is the first time I've really spent a whole lot of time with it, one of the ways that you can increase your chances of stealing is, I think the monk has the best chance, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, but if I remember, the monk's really, really great for stealing. And then I think actually female monks have the best chances. Again, I don't remember that. So what is that? To be honest, that doesn't really matter for me. I almost always have Ramza do all of my stealing. I think the reason for that is normally I've spent a ton of time with his thief job for whatever reason. So Ramza will be doing my stealing, so keep that in mind. There are better choices for thieves, or to be, you know, stealing. But then another reason, though, why I really like to steal with Ramza is because of his guts. And for every 1 point of speed, you increase your chances to steal by 1%. So, you know, that might not seem like much, but it adds up. And you know, if you're trying to do like what I was doing here and stealing 5 pieces of equipment, I think that was 5 anyway, in the same battle, that adds up. And, you know, 10% increase or success rate, that would be if you used yell 10 times, you know, adds up really quickly. But all right, so we have Wygriff here talking about the two different warring factions, obviously, and he's implicated Dicestard here. Yeah, so obviously accusing Dicestard of planning a kidnap on the Marquis. So things just got a little bit odd. So basically accuses Dystarg of some pretty dubious behavior, which again, if you'll remember from earlier, Dystarg kind of chastising Ramza there for not being lawful or not doing as he's told, and bringing what did he say? He wanted to bring disgrace to the Beowulf name, which is then ironic that now he's being implicated in this plot to abduct the Marquis. So all right, so obviously Gola Gross, or whatever his name is, took off with Tita, and obviously Toledo's not taking it so well. Kind of doesn't really understand why this is happening to his sister, but all right, we're gonna find out soon enough. But so anyway, stay tuned. I'm out of time here, so I gotta cut it. But hope this guide was helpful, and as always, hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.